We're going to get it cracking in a minute. The topic of the conversation is who authorized to teach the Bible? Can anybody teach this Bible? Can anybody be a priest according to the scriptures? So I'm going to just get to it. Everybody can feel like they can just pick this Bible up and teach this Bible. Everybody feel like they know the Bible. I watch a lot of people even try to teach the Bible and don't nobody read the Bible where thus said the Lord. Precept must be upon precept. That means when you say precept must be upon a precept, don't pour down on my school, One West, or the Israelites and say, could you explain Galatians 3:28? Wait a minute. So back to the question I asked, who authorized to teach the Bible? Can the Mormons teach the Bible? What about the Jehovah Witnesses? Can they teach the Bible? What about the Baptist Church? The founder, can he teach the Bible? What's his name? Joseph, John. What's his name? John. Can John teach the Bible? Can Joseph? Well, let me rephrase this. According to the Bible, that predates the Jehovah Witnesses, the Mormons, that predates their book over 2,000 years. Who was authorized by the Most High to teach the Bible? And who did the Most High give his word to? The reason why I asked this question is I watch a lot of people pick this book up, and everybody pick this book up, think they can just pick it up and start reading it. When this book is not a book you can just pick up and start reading. You have to be taught how to read this book. You have to know the storyline of the book. The book got a hook. It has a storyline to it. You have to know the storyline. If you don't know the storyline, as Rakim would say, in the One West, our unusual style will confuse you a while. Our unusual style will confuse you a while. And what I mean by our unusual style, I mean, you're so used to seeing your Christian pastor get up there and pop it. You know what I'm saying? And you really don't know nothing. That when you see us, our style is different to y'all. Y'all think, oh, y'all preaching hate, y'all preaching this, y'all preaching that. We preach God's word. And you know what's so crazy? The same thing that we say, them Jewish people over there say. I'm gonna say their names because I ain't scared to say it. They over there say the same thing, but I never hear a Christian say they racist. I never hear the Baptist or the Christian church, nobody speaks out about them. But when we say the same thing that they say, then it's an issue against us. So my question again is, according to the Most High, Yahweh, who is authorized to teach the Bible? Can anybody pick up the Bible and start teaching it? Can a white man teach the Bible? Can an Arab teach the Bible? Can an African man teach the Bible? Can a Chinese man teach the Bible? We're going according to scripture right now. According to scripture, that's my question. Who is authorized? Who did God send his word to teach the word? Who did he raise up to be the priests of this world? I know y'all don't know, so I'm going to quit beating around the bush and tell you. Let's get to the scriptures. I'm going to take you from the Old Testament to the New Testament. I'm about to put y'all up on game. The Bible actually repeats itself. Most people don't know that. Sometimes it's explained in a different way, but it's saying the same thing. The Bible is like repetitious. You got to understand there was no such thing as the New Testament when the New Testament was being formed. The New Testament didn't exist. So now, let's see, according to the Bible, who did the Most High raise up to teach the Bible, or can anybody teach the Bible? So now we're going to start with the Torah. We're going to go to the Torah. I think one of the biggest problems Christians make is they don't study the whole book. Christ told you he came in the volume of the book. He didn't come in the volume of the New Testament. He came in the volume of the book. What y'all don't understand is a lot of things that Christ, Peter, Paul, all of them saying, they are quoting the Old Testament. So my question was, who did God authorize to teach his word? Or can anybody teach his word? Who did he raise up to be the priest? Did he raise a white man up to be a Jehovah Witness? Did he send his word to the Jehovah Witnesses? Did he raise Joseph Smith up to be a Mormon and gave his word to the Mormons? Who did Christ raise up to be the priest in this Bible? Or can any nation, according to scripture, be priests outside the Israelites? Well, let's see. So first we're going to go to the Torah, the Old Testament, and we're going to work our way up. So first thing I like to start with, well, I'm going to start off with this. We're going to go to Exodus chapter 19. Exodus chapter 19. Exodus chapter 19, and it says, We're going to start at verse 5. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, above all people. For all the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation, not nations. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So I'm going to break that back down, because do you know that right now they say 54% of Americans read less than the 8th grade level, and their comprehension skills is of a 6th grade level. So when you read this, there's no such thing as equality. The Most High said the children of Israel is above everybody, for the world is his. Let me read it again. This is Exodus chapter 19, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom. Let me start at 5. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. See, there's no equality with the Most High. The children of Israel is up here, and the other nations is down here. And you know what's so crazy, that when I say this to you, it blows y'all mind. I can't believe he talking like that. But when them Jewish people, they say the same thing. They say they up here and everybody else is down here. And shit, it looks that way because when they tell America to jump, America jumps. America jumps for Israel. Israel been pimping these countries for years. The Most High said the children of Israel is above everybody. He don't believe in equality in this Bible. So I'm going to read it again. Verse 6, verse 5. Now, therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. Verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. See, when you pick up this Bible, the only people that's allowed to preach God's word is the children of Israel. A heathen don't even have a book in the Bible. This is why I'm asking all my black folks, you can't be a Jehovah's Witness. My God said the only people that can be priests in the Bible, the only people that's authorized to teach this word is the children of Israel. That's the only people authorized. The Most High said the children of Israel shall be a holy priest, a priest of nations. We supposed to minister to all the nations. We the priests of the world. The Most High ain't chose another nation. He talks about this covenant that he made with us. Let me get Genesis chapter 17. Let's go to Genesis chapter 17. And remember this covenant that I hear so many people try to be a part of this covenant, but the covenant is not for all people. And you have to listen to the language of the Bible to understand the conversation of the Bible. Let me give you an example of what I mean. This is Genesis chapter 17, and we're going to start at 5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee. When Christ, you got to realize that the children of Israel became many nations. He had other sons that became many nations. But listen to the words that the Most High is speaking. It say, verse 6, I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. You know, the only people he's talking about, because the only nation the Most High recognize is the children of Israel. He said, kings shall come out of thee. I said, what's up, bro? He said, and I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed. This is singular. It didn't say seeds. You know how y'all try to say Abraham blessed all the nations? That's not true. All the nations came through Abraham, all of them. Y'all know how y'all like to use that verse. But although y'all don't say I should bless these that bless thee and curse those that curse thee, y'all leave that verse out. It said, I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed, singular, and after thee in thy righteousness, and after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant, to be God, to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. Verse 8, and I will give unto thee and to thy seed and after thee the land where thou art a stranger. See, the Israelites is being called strangers right now. For y'all that never heard the Israelites being called strangers, in Genesis chapter 17, as I'm reading about this covenant, he's calling them strangers. And the God said unto Abraham, he said, and I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land where thou art a stranger, and all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after in thy generations. We know it went from Abraham, Isaac to Jacob. That seed is not plural, it's singular. So now, this covenant was only made with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and the children of Israel. That's who the nations, that's who the Most High made the covenant with. No other nation is a part of this covenant. So now let's keep going. This is why I'm taking you back to Exodus chapter 19. I asked you, who could teach the Bible? Who was authorized according to the word of God to teach the Bible? And let's see who can actually be priest in the Bible. See, the Bible explains everything, but in today's time, nobody actually uses the Bible. So we're going to go to Exodus chapter 19, verse 5 and 6. Now, therefore, if ye obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, you hear that covenant we was just talking about in Genesis chapter 17, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for the earth is mine, and ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation, a separate nation, a nation of priests. This is what the Most High said about the children of Israel. So now, they say precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept. Can I find this anywhere in the New Testament? Of course. I told you the Bible repeats itself. So now we're going to go to 1 Peter's. So we're going to go to the New Testament. 1 Peter's 2 and 9. 1 Peter say, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of the darkness into his marvelous light. These are the Old Testament and the New Testament. In the Old Testament and the New Testament, the only people that's authorized to teach the Bible is the children of Israel. No other nation God ever gave his word to. So you know what that means? That means John can't start a Baptist church. The word was never given to him. That means the word was never given to nobody to start a Mormon church. The word was never given to that white man to start the Jehovah's Witnesses. The word was never given to that white man to start the word was never sent to no other nation outside the children of Israel. I read to you in the Old Testament and the New Testament, the only people that can be the priests of the Bible, according to this word, is the children of Israel. Now, who did God give his word to? You might well say, well, God gave his word. God never gave his word to all nations. That's Christian insanity. Let's go to Psalms 147. I always like to get in this Bible because the Bible is going to explain everything. So when we go to Psalms 147, it says 19 and 20. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, the penalties of breaking God's laws, they have not known them. See, right here in the Old Testament, the Most High said he only gave his word to the children of Israel. Have you ever noticed that when you hear pastors talk, everybody talk about sinning? But when you actually read the Bible, the only people that get punished for breaking God's laws is the children of Israel. No other nation get punished for sinning, because you know why? My God don't deal with other nations, and he never gave them his word. I'm reading this to you out the Bible. I'm not giving you my own feelings. I'm not, well, you might say, well, that's the Old Testament. Well, can we find this in the New Testament? Well, let's see if I can find it in the New Testament. Let's go to Romans chapter 3. You know the book y'all like to go to, Romans, that y'all truly don't know how to understand? Shalom, brothers. You know, so you know how y'all like to go to the book of Romans, but y'all truly don't understand the book of Romans. In real time, Romans would be a letter. Romans would be an actual letter, not a book. It was incorporated as a book. So when y'all go to these letters that Paul wrote, the biggest mistake y'all make is don't nobody start on page 1. Every time y'all pick up Paul's letters, I'll watch y'all go to page 3, page 4. Y'all go to Galatians, go to page 3, 28. And don't none of y'all read the Bible the way thus said the Lord. You know why y'all don't know how to read the Bible the way thus said the Lord? Because I'm telling you the scriptures where the Most High only raised the children of Israel up to be the priests. No other nation in the Bible has been raised up to be the priests. No other nation. That's in Exodus chapter 19, 5 and 6. Ask your pastors about it. And then when you go to the New Testament, because the Bible repeats itself, it's 1 Peter 2 and 9. The Most High never raised another nation up to be the priest. So that means, you know what that means? That white man can't start no Baptist church because my God didn't give him his word. That white man can't start Jehovah's Witnesses. God never gave him his word to be priest. That man can't start no Mormon church. My God never sent him his word to be the priest. That man can't start the Pentecostal church, the Seventh-day Adventists. My God said he only raised the children of Israel up to be the priests and prophets. Now we went to Psalms 147, where the Most High said he never gave his word. 19 and 20. The Most High said he only gave his word to the children of Israel. He never gave it to another nation. And see, this is the part what blows my mind when I talk to brothers in Christianity. They say, well, through Abraham, all nations got blessed. That's not what the Most High said. He said he will bless those that bless thee and curse those that curse thee. And the nations cursed the children of Israel. That's what happened. So now let's go to Romans 3 and 2. Let's see if we can keep seeing if God only gave his word to the children of Israel. Because like I told you, in the Bible, it repeats itself. There was no such thing as the New Testament at the time when the New Testament was being composite. So the people that's talking, they're quoting from the Old Testament. Y'all don't know that. Sometimes Paul will quote 2 or 3 different books out the Old Testament, and y'all won't even know that. Circumcision, Old Testament. Grafting, Old Testament. All this is coming from the Old Testament. So now when we go to Romans 3 and when we go to Romans 3 and 2, I'm gonna start at 1. It said, what advantage then had the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? They said, what is the advantage to me being an Israelite? Because I hear churches like, well, we are all the children of God. God gave. So what's the advantage to me to being an Israelite? Let me show you what Paul said. Verse 2, Paul said, much in every way. Chiefly, that means mainly, because that unto them was committed the oracles of God. So when you say what advantage is it to me to being an Israelite, Paul said mainly because the oracles of God was given to me. It was not given to all nations. I know that's probably blowing y'all mind. Y'all probably really thought God gave his word to all nations. But if you read the theme of the book, the whole Bible was about the children of Israel. It's not about all nations. The God in the Bible is the God of Israel. No heathen has a book in the Bible. No heathen. So now let's keep going. We're going to go stay right here. Let's go to Acts chapter 10. I love Acts chapter 10. You know what I love about Acts chapter 10? This is what I love about Acts chapter 10. Most uneducated Christians think Cornelius is a Gentile. No Bible verse ever called Cornelius as a Gentile. You know how I knew Cornelius was an Israelite? Because he called Cornelius a devout man. When you read Acts chapter 2, it's the precept, and in First Peter's, the only people that ever be called devout means the children of Israel. In Acts chapter 2, it tells you devout men out of every nation, because we were coming out of every nation. We were scattered into all nations. So during the Passover, we come together. We come from all different nations. So now when y'all read Cornelius, you know what's the nail in the coffin to let you know Cornelius is an Israelite? Drop down to verse 36. Drop down to verse 36 when y'all read about Cornelius. I hear all y'all be talking about grafting in and all that. And when you drop down to verse 6, it just sums it up. It said, the word which God sent unto the children of Israel. So that means everything that was said pertaining to, you get to verse 36, it said the word God sent unto Israel. God never sent his word to another nation. He never done that. He never done that. That's why when I love talking to like Jehovah Witnesses and all that, and I get to ask them about their prophet. And I said, well, Joseph Smith wasn't an Israelite. They said, well, no, he wasn't an Israelite. So I said, well, I'm kind of confused then. How he become this prophet? And I'm also confused that how all these white people, the Most High, just kept getting confused and kept sending different angels. I'm going to send an angel here. You start the Baptist church. Well, maybe I don't want to start the Baptist church. I'm going to send another angel down here to the same people. You start the Mormon church. Maybe I want to start the Mormon church. And you got to realize the Baptist church was created in 1603. You know where we were at? We were in slavery when this white man said an angel came down and seen him. He was a prophet and started the Baptist church. Guess who the next man was? 1732, the Mormons church was created. And guess what that white man said? Y'all gonna think I'm lying. An angel came down here and seen him too. And guess what? We were still in slavery. See, what y'all don't know is a lot of religions was created while we were in slavery and coming out of slavery. Most people get it twisted because the Bible and religion are two different things. Most people don't know that. They think religion and the Bible is two different things. Like when they ask me, they say, Azab, you an Israelite, or Jehovah, you an Israelite? Like, what religion? I'm not in no religion. I don't believe in religion. I don't study religion. I always like to ask black folks, who were we before slavery? And you always hear niggas say some dumb shit. We was kings and queens. You ain't never had a nation where everybody was no damn king and queen. Never existed. So we all wasn't kings and queens. Half of y'all think like peasants. So we know we couldn't be kings and queens. When I'm telling you, you the children of Israel, and you know what's so hurtful right now? This is the most hurtful part right now. Right now, if you check all over the internet, you having more white folks starting to believe we the children of Israel than you do blacks. That's how beat down we've been. They started to go back into these scriptures, just like we've been asking y'all to. Just like we told y'all what years ago that war is prophesied to start off in the Middle East. That's the Valley of Josaphat. That's where it's from. Israel is prophesied to suck all the nations in. And you watching these prophecies come through as you watching United, what NATO just flipped on America, said, man, we ain't riding with y'all. It's prophesied that the nations would turn against America. We ain't riding with y'all. So the allies said, we ain't allying with y'all. So now you got Israel who don't want to stop bombing. Iran, I really believe the Most High raised Iran up. And have you noticed what the Iranians are saying? Everybody's going back to their biblical identity. The Iran telling you we are the Persians. We the Persians in the Bible. See, the Iranians know who we were. You know what they call in Russia? Magog in the Bible. Everybody's going back to their biblical identities that's in these scriptures. But you, my people, you know what my God said? Let me show you what my God said about the children of Israel. And it's so hurtful, but it's the truth. When we go out here on these streets, we go on the highways and byways, and we try to tell our people how special they is. And you know the first thing they say, well, ain't everybody special? Everybody ain't special, nigga. I'm telling you, you special. If I told that Asian man he was special, he wouldn't say, what about the black man? He ain't gonna even say that. Well, what about the black? Ain't they special too? They won't say that. We have that mentality. We've been beat down so much that when I tell you we the greatest people walking the earth, it's hard for you to believe that. But let me show you what the Most High said. This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. He said, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel do not know, and my people do not consider. Do you hear what the Most High said? Let me read it for y'all again, and then I'm going to break it down. The ox know its owner. The ox is a dumb animal. And the ass is master's crib. Have you ever heard a donkey? We've been compared to two dumb animals. He said, but Israel do not know. Israel don't know who they are. And my people do not consider, they don't even care. This is Isaiah. This is a future prophecy. Isaiah chapter 1 and 3. The Most High compared us to two dumb animals. He said, yeah, the donkey know his master's crib. The ox know who his master is. The donkey is master's crib, but Israel don't know, nor do they consider. They don't know who they are. And this is so cold that the scriptures is prophesying, telling us that we will lose our identity. This is another way when we debate Jewish people. I love it. And this is what I love so much about my school, because we number one in debating. We debate everybody. And we ask these Jewish people, how can you trace your identity all the way back to Abraham when the children of Israel was prophesied to lose their identity? They weren't going to even know who they was. So how do y'all keep all this history? And when you get to asking questions, you'll find out half of them don't know what tribe they come from. Half of them think they come through their mama. You can't come through your mama according to the scriptures. And see, this is what I'm talking to you about. Most of the time when people talk, they don't go into the Bible. I read you two scriptures, Old Testament and New Testament. The only people that was raised up to teach this Bible was the children of Israel. That means it can't be another priest or prophet outside the children of Israel. That's just the bottom line, whether you like it or not. Malachi 3 and 6 say, for I am the Lord, I change not. See, the God of this Bible don't change. That's why in Matthew 15:24, Jesus Christ said, I was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I had a Mormon knock on my door, and I like having fun with them. So when they open the door, I like to play like, I'm so naive. I act like I'm a little virgin or something. And they got to saying, have you heard the great news? I said, no, well, tell me about the great news. How Jesus Christ come to spread love to the world. I said, yeah, well, could you show me that in the Bible? I said, I have been to prison before. She looked at me. And I said, I was in maximum security, and I read the Bible more than once. I didn't understand what I was reading at the time, but I love the stories. But I never read a story where Christ said he was coming to spread love to the world. And guess what she said? Well, that's not in there. But his overall message. I said, well, you got me confused now. At first, you said he was coming to spread love to the world until I told you that's not in the Bible. Then you changed it, repackaged it, and said, well, his overall mission was coming to save the children of Israel. You know how y'all like to go read in Galatians 3 and 28? You know what's the dagger to Galatians 3 and 28? The next page, Galatians chapter 4. 4 and 5. 4 and 5 tells you Christ came to die for those that was under the first testament. Let me read to you Galatians chapter 4. You know how, because this way y'all stop going to Galatians and stop cherry picking out the Bible. This is why Isaiah 28, 9 and 10, my God said, who can I teach this knowledge to? And who can I make understand this doctrine? For precepts must be, he said precepts must. I think we need to look up the definition of must, because most churches don't do that. Most pastors don't do that. Half of the time when y'all come out and ask us questions on the streets and we go to break these scriptures down, y'all say, no, stay right there. That's isolating the verse. Thus said the Lord, precepts must be upon precept. Precept upon precept, line upon line. Here a little Old Testament, there a little New Testament. Psalms 119, 104 says, through thy precepts I get understanding. So we understand what the scriptures say. Why? Because we follow the precepts. We understand what the scriptures say because we follow the precepts. The Bible has it. The book has a rhythm. The Most High didn't say, my people, my people, my people, my people, my people. Then we get here and all of a sudden it's spiritual. What? It was literal. Now it's spiritual. My God said he's not the author of confusion. And that's what Christianity gives you, a bunch of confusion. They tell you Christ came down here, went inside Mary. She was a virgin. Mary had other kids. You know, Christ had brothers and sisters. No disrespect to Mary, but Mary was dropping it like it was hot. And I see the problem with Christians is they want to hear about the sex scene. It didn't say Joseph had sex with Mary. It never said that Abraham had sex. It didn't talk about Zechariah having sex, but it just tells you about the performances that was done. But you people in the church want to hear the sex scene. That's why y'all think Joseph didn't have sex with Mary. I'm going to tell y'all a shocker. Do you know in the Bible a man can't be a virgin? A man can't even be a virgin in the Bible. You got to realize the game they put down on y'all. I'm going to tell you what the game is. My people, we spoke Hebrew. Hebrew is our language. My God gave us a culture. When you hear about the laws, we have a dietitian law, a ceremonial law, a sacrificial law, a civil law. We have laws, and up under these laws, we have statutes. That's how you govern a society. So when the Most High separated us, he gave us laws to govern our society. I don't want y'all eating pork. I don't give a damn if they eat pork. I don't want you eating it. You know I don't want you eating it because nigga later on you're going to get high blood pressure and you're going to die. You die from a high rate of the things we ain't supposed to eat. They eat pork all the time and they don't die like you from it because my God told you don't do it. I don't want you to eat shrimp, crab, and lobsters. I created that to eat the shit off the bottom of the ocean. Now, I don't care if they eat it. I don't want you to eat it. And you know what a lot of us say? Well, if they eating it, why we can't eat it? That's the problem Israel had all throughout the Bible. We followed other nations. And us following other nations is what always made us fail. Holy means separate in the Bible. The children of Israel, we are separate people. And you know what's so cold about this shit? I'm going to tell you what's the cold part about it. When the white folks over there say they separate, they only deal with each other, they leech off everybody else, they only mess with each other, deal money with each other. I don't hear nobody in the Christian church would ever say they racist. Y'all applaud them for sticking with each other. But if I come out here and tell all my people, hey, we got to stick together. We the children of Israel. We got the bond. The first thing you niggas in the Christian churches say, well, we all God's people. Why y'all don't tell them Jewish people that over there? When they say they above everybody. Why y'all don't tell them the same thing y'all tell us? It's because you have a mentality that you don't believe you are God's people. So you just want to be equal to everybody. Let me tell you what God said about the children of Israel. I'm going to read it to you one more time. See, in this Bible, there's no such thing as equality. My God don't believe in equality. He don't believe we all one. He don't believe we all one people. You won't find no scripture in there where Christ is saying that, where the Most High says that. So now let's go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. When you go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6, the Most High put it so clear where he can't put it no clear. Deuteronomy 7 and 6 say, it say, for thou art an holy people, for thou art a separate people unto the Lord thy God. Thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto him, above, not equal, above, not we all the same, above, we can walk hand in hand, above, God don't look down on nobody, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. This is what the Most High said. He said his people is above everybody on the face of the earth. So you ain't got to like it if you have a problem with it. You have a problem with the Most High. He ain't never seen equality. When you pick this book up, you read about the Most High killing other nations' children. What are y'all talking about? Can y'all really comprehend what y'all? Show me where he was loving other nations in the Bible, or he was just doing other things for people in the Bible. Show me where he was showing other nations love in the Bible. Show me this. I'm going to show you what Amos 3, 1 and 2 said. Amos 3, 1 and 2, the Most High hear this word that the Lord has spoken. He gets so raw. And I think that's why a lot of pastors tell Christians, don't read the Old Testament, throw the Old Testament away, and they make these new Bibles strictly with the New Testament. It's because y'all don't know what's going on. So when you get to the New Testament, y'all don't know them Greeks. If you get the 1611 Bible, the Apocrypha is in there. The Greeks in First Maccabees are the children of Israel. Now, when I talk to a lot of pastors, they know that a lot of the children of Israel was converted into Greeks and Maccabees. So I asked them, I'll say, okay, then when we get to Romans, what happened to them Israelites that were Hellenized and became Greeks? And they sat there for a minute, had to think about it. That's who Paul is talking to. Them Greeks are Israelites. It'd be like me saying from Chicago, there's no difference between GD and BD, for they all is one. Why? Because the GDs and the BDs was one. They were black gangster disciples. There was one nation. And then they split, the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom. I'm breaking it down for y'all on the street terminology. The Northern Kingdom became the BDs. The Southern Kingdom became the GDs. So now, it'd be like, I'm giving it to y'all where y'all might understand this a little bit better, so I had to break it down on the street terminology. So it'd be like Christ coming and hitting the set saying, hey, there ain't no difference between a GD and a BD. Why? Because y'all the same people. Y'all one. Y'all the same people. This is what Paul's saying. This is what all Paul's saying, man, y'all the same people. If he's in Rome, why he's saying there's no difference between a Jew and a Roman? Why he's still talking about Greeks in Rome? Huh? Because these are the same people. This is why I always tell y'all, when y'all pick up Paul's letters, first and foremost, First Peter's tell you Paul's letters is hard to understand. And you already wrestle with the scriptures. And you use Paul's letters for your own destruction. Y'all use Paul to say you can eat pork. Y'all use Paul to say you can be a homosexual. Y'all use Paul to break all the laws and the commandments. And Paul, and the crazy thing about it is Paul kept the law. Paul actually kept the law. It's no such thing as equality when it comes to this Bible. The Most High chose the children of Israel. You want to know in the New Testament, go to Matthew 2 and 6. Because you might say, well, he was his people in the Old Testament. Let's see if this is people in the New Testament. Matthew 2 and 6. Simple. It said, and art thou Bethlehem, it said, and thou Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princesses of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people, Israel. This even Most High still saying the children of Israel is his people in the New Testament. I know what you're saying to yourself, man. I can't believe this, but it's true. It's true. It is true. The Most High never had intentions on bringing all nations together and we all come together and kumbaya and, you know, and we crying and shit and holding hands. And let me see. Let me see. Let me Google this real quick. Before I bring thee out of the furnace. Let's see. So now, you know the reason why I don't believe the Most High had intentions on bringing all nations together? When you go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, this is a cold verse right here I'm about to read. And lest thou lift up thy eyes unto the heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven should be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God had divided unto all nations under heaven. But the Lord had taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, ye as this day. So let me start back at 19. It said, when you lift up your eyes and you see the moon and the stars and how all these nations got to worship in them, the Most High said he let them go. He divided them to the nation. Y'all can worship the moon, the stars. Y'all can worship all that bullshit. He said, but the children of Israel, I took you out of that. I took you out the first. He didn't take the other nations out the front. Let me. I hear Christians say God had this plan to bring everybody together. Well, if that was the case, he wouldn't be letting them worship moon, stars. He said he gave that to them. Let's read that again. And lest thou lift up thy eyes unto the heaven, and when thou see the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the hosts of heaven, and should be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God divided unto all nations under the whole heaven. But the Lord had taken you and brought you out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, as ye are this day. Most High said, man, I left y'all worship. That's why when you got all them Egypts worshiping the moon and stuff, my God said, I gave that to them. I let them worship that. But you right here, I gave you me. I took you out of that. I wasn't going to let you fall off, be worshiping moon, stars, rocks, walking through the house, burning sage and all that crazy shit. He said, I took you out the furnace. I gave you me. You got me. So, y'all can catch me every Tuesday, same bat station, the same bat channel. I wanted to just really, really sit down, because it's like everybody pick up the Bible and think they can just pick this book up. Okay, shalom, bro, checking in from Greenville. Everybody think they can pick this book up and teach this book. It's the only book everybody think they can just pick up and start reading. You ain't got to learn it. You ain't got to none of that. And when you get to picking up, the Most High raised the children of Israel up to be the priests of this nation, meaning everybody is not even authorized to teach God's word. And this is according to the Bible. Even after Melchizedek, the only people that can be the priests are the children of Israel. No other nation. My God didn't deal with other nations. Even when you get to the New Testament, the kingdom of heaven is 12 gates, because he only deal with the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, with that, we are the ISUPK out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York. To all my blacks, Hispanics, and Latinos, and when I say that, I mean of native descent and of Negro descent. If you're a Spaniard, this message is not for you. I don't know what you're saying, why the Spaniards can't get the message, because you are the colonizers that went down there. Just like the white man, the colonizers that came over. Everywhere you see the white man's descendants, they are basically the colonizers' descendants. Now, I say all that to say that the Most High raised the children of Israel to be the priests, because this job right here ain't for no weak nigga. Ain't for no weak nigga. It ain't. We got to go out on these streets, on the highways and byways. We got to tell men, hey, man, put that penis down and step away from it. Churches ain't going to tell him that. They're going to be in there singing and clapping. I got to tell that woman, don't go to that abortion clinic and kill that child. See, the thing about black folks, we don't like to be told our transgressions. When we doing wrong, we hate to hear that shit. We don't got no like the churches do. We ain't gonna hold your hand like the churches do. We gonna tell you. My God says, speak loud and show my people their transgressions. And that's what we do. With that, join my brother tomorrow, Yawathon, as he run this class today. I got another brother that's coming up right behind me. We go hard pushing this word. We see it's during the last days. And you know, me and my brother was just talking earlier, and I said I'll be so hurt that black people don't never believe shit until it happens. They need shit to start coming down here, and then they want to start getting on top of their job. You know, the Most High said 1/3 of the house of Israel shall be saved. 1/3. Just 1/3 out of all. So he said, niggas ain't gonna turn. The scriptures say that. And you know what's so crazy? I see more dudes coming off the streets and all that, coming saying, hey, I got to keep God's laws. I see guys coming off the street saying, hey, I can't do this no more. I can't do that no more. Whereas the church saying, we ain't got to keep none of God's laws. But I thought the children of Israel got punished for not keeping the law. Shit just confuses me in the church, if you ask me personally. So now with that, you know, my captain always say, I'm gonna sign off, then I don't sign off. So I know, Cap, you watching. So I'm gonna say this. We are the ISUPK at 125th Street, Harlem, New York. To all our Black, Hispanics, and Latinos, that's of Native American and Negro descent, I'm saying shalom. Catch y'all next week.